why can't I record? I love the podcast. Why can't I record 60 or 70 minutes of, hey, choo-choo, I'm not your chin-chin, choo-choo. How's it going, cha-cha?
That was pretty much Alex's best of reel last week with 70 minutes of...
Hey, you Chinese, choo-choo, how's your chi-chi?
They look like dress pants. They look like dress pants. They look like dress pants.
They look like dress pants.
Hi, how are you?
I like that. Hey, choo-choo, you take Tai Chi-Chi? That's my fake voice. I'm going to class now.
Come on, Wheezy, let's do this.
No, I'm going to class for you say something reasonably humorous.
Wow.
Okay, say something and now I'm going to lose it.
Bah.
That's right. Baby number 2's coming.
That would get 911 called if you did that in a restaurant.
That's my pretentious baby.
Wow.
I can't even do it.
We are at different energy levels tonight, for sure.
I feel good. You know why?
What's that?
I waited to take. Here's what I decided.
Okay.
I have a lot of techniques first. Are we on? I have a lot of techniques for starting the show.
Yeah.
One of the techniques is to smoke pot during the day,
right.
Lie about it,
sure.
asked,
okay,
or take some edible at some point during the day. You know, I'll be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Right.
Now I learned from you saying I'm going to coffee up,
yeah,
and beer down.
I
realized I was doing the exact opposite, and that can only mean bad news for you.
Well, good.
I took 2 Adderall at 8:45.
Oh,
Ba-ba-ba-ba-dum-bum. What else is in the news? What else is in the news? What else is in the news? They look like dress pants, look like dress pants. What else is in the news? Hey, Josh, did you guys make a new painting on the wall? Hey, Josh, what's that? And now the greatest hits of comments that could never be possibly work. Hey, what is that thing? Or my favorite for the first year of the show.
Yeah.
What's that? Bing. That's the coffee going off, Andy.
All right, that might happen still tonight.
That's the coffee going off.
That's going to happen tonight.
But you know what won't happen?
What's that?
Me asking, what's that sound? I'm telling you.
Growth, second 100 shows, bing. It's a whole new Andy show.
I can see this going the wrong way. This could get into a meth thing, too.
Yeah, I can see that.
I was thinking, Josh,
yes,
that when I moved out here, my life now, I realize, was very much dependent on when I came out to L.A. This is what I've been trying to say. Is like, wasn't everyone's life like my life? No, it wasn't. But I can see now why I was depressed as I came to age in 1978. I was 21 years old. I could see why I was depressed because I was still hoping the 60s were going on. But by that time, it already crossed over into cocaine land. So when I came out to L.A., age 21, I wasn't a cocaine addict.
You were coming out for a peaceful, easy feeling.
Right.
And it wasn't happening.
Well, it was. I mean, I took acid in college and all those. I was thinking about all this stuff.
Right.
But I was like, why were we so desperate? There was a desperate quality to it because I was not trying to capture a movement that had passed me. I love the Grateful Dead. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to pretend to love these groups. Right. I'm going to pretend to love acid. But it was almost like not too late, but there was a big change going on. So by the time
too late.
It's not kind of.
you keep wanting to leave yourself this out. Like, I wasn't just shallowly chasing something. I actually liked it. But it wasn't.
Well, the other argument is this, that because I wasn't 18 in 1969,
yeah,
in a way, the 60s were more my generation to, like, idealize.
Right.
Because I was only 12 years old.
So you desperately wanted to, like, grab onto that generation?
Had I been that age.
Associate yourself as if.
Yeah. And had I been that age, I probably would have been killed or died or had a drug overdose.
Maybe all three.
So now I realize why I was crushingly depressed when I came out here, thinking that I was too old already to have made it in music, I said to myself.
Yeah, at 21?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bob Dylan had already had a motorcycle accident.
Well, as someone who came of age, if we're saying 21 in 1992, I don't feel bad for you. Because the 80s wiped out the fun of drugs, the fun of sex, everything.
That's true, but I think I am a bit,
I mean, now it's all back.
I think I'm lying a little bit because, not lying a little bit, because I really felt like the Talking Heads and all those groups were like a revelation. And so I kind of kept the thing going in a way, but it was fading fast.
Well, you know.
It was fading fast. But when you came...
But you're still looking at your life as what music you were listening to
it's
being
stupid.
your
It's
whole
not
identity.
intelligent. Did I call you earlier and go, I have a great subject that's going to really make people think I'm a genius?
But
no.
it sounds as if that was your identity. Is what music do I associate myself with?
Only because I think I came up in a time period where if you weren't into music, it would have been odd for me to have been into stand-up comedy. Like
no, I
just
understand
stereotypically.
but I think that's it's a very typical high school self-segregation method. I think is associating with the people and the music simultaneously.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I just had a very.
But it looks. But what I'm saying is that now, looking back, it looks like that's still how you identify yourself, is by what music you're listening to. I don't know why this is interesting either.
Well, because here's the thing. Because initially, when I think of like I think of the Clash. I think of the Clash as the kind of new way. Like I love London Calling because I love the way it summed up that generation and all this kind of thing. So there's a way of there's a romanticizing of the periods that I went through, but we're going through that all the time, but never like the change from Beatlemania to Margaret Thatcher was only once.
But were you really depressed about the change in music? Is I guess my thing.
Yes, because the most determinative, is that the right word?
Maybe.
Determinating, the thing that changed my life drastically was John Lennon dying. That changed my life, even though I could say now it's stupid to say that. It wasn't stupid.
Yeah.
I thought the war was over when John Lennon was killed. I was on acid when he was killed, and I had all this hope. He kind of symbolized hope.
Right.
And so I was like, I was so depressed by it. Now, maybe if you weren't as big a John Lennon fan, obviously, and you weren't the age I was.
Right.
But the age I was like, hey, I'm out. It's my time now. And we killed.
So what were the ramifications of that?
It felt like it was all together. Reagan.
No, but for you, like what changed in your life because John Lennon was shot?
Well, I had so many problems. I had problems with my relation. I was in love then, but I had a really problem with my relationship.
Yeah.
I had
it was an older Japanese woman.
I wrote this song called "How Do You Sleep."
Yeah.
Does that ring a bell?
It does.
Okay. Who wrote that one? Lennon.
Lennon about McCartney.
Yes.
Wink.
First of all, if you're going to write a song slamming your ex, I think you were good yesterday.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Can't you bury the walrus lead?
He wasn't.
How can you go from I Am the Walrus to You Son of a Bitch, I Hate That Song Yesterday?
They were the fathers of rap beefs.
They really were.
Yeah.
They were my whole life. See, I think maybe the thing is the Beatles were my whole life in the sense that my sister was a huge fan of the Beatles. I idolized my sister. It was like everything I felt I was too late for, in a way, got reinforced. It's an incorrect assumption.
Right.
But that's how I felt. And when I came out to LA in 1978, I wasn't going out to the I didn't say, you know what, Andy, go to Madame Wong's West and
right.
I wasn't going up against the Blasters and all this. I would have been. Thank God I wasn't horrible cover bands.
Yeah.
I don't think I had anything to say, anything particularly interesting to say. Now let's not put me down. I think I was a very hot young performer, sexy.
Sure.
Post college.
So in 1980, were you playing in cover bands in LA?
In 1978, I drove cross country and I started playing in bands immediately, but poorly. With poor discipline, right from the get-go.
Right.
And I was in cover bands.
Okay. But working top 40 kind of bands?
Working, but not working. I mean, like a couple $100 a week we'd make, or, I never I was never successful at being a cover band, because to be successful, I wanted to play my originals.
Sure. As does every 20-some-year-old in a cover band.
Yeah, right. Well, what I don't have empathy for, which I think is bad, according to my therapist, I don't have empathy for the person I was then. Yeah. I do. I'm starting to gain empathy. But the fact that that's the way I felt Well, I was young. Why do you want to include in your life that you weren't young and stupid? I mean, if I wasn't young and stupid, I would have been Einstein.
Right. No, and I'm just trying to get I'm just trying to sort of figure out what you really were versus the sort of
pose,
music attached narrative.
What I really was like I was
like. So I'm just trying to get.
Sure.
So it's 1980. You're playing in cover bands. You're also selling stereos or something.
Why do you say 1980? Because
of John Lennon dying. I'm going back to that.
Thank you. Bingo. Yes. Okay. I was on. I think it was worse than that. I was selling door to door.
Okay.
I was selling door and delivering the LA Times at night. It couldn't have been worse.
Well, but to the other extreme, I would say kudos for doing what you had to do.
Right. I didn't give up.
Right. So John Lennon gets shot. What changed? I mean, you said it's a major turning point in your life. What changed because of it? How did your path change because of it? Well,
now that I'm actually in therapy and I'm looking back and I realize that I actually, like, my therapist said to me, she doesn't care how much pot I smoke. It's my decision if I want to smoke pot or not smoke pot. If I'm using it, but back then I think I definitely was using hallucinogenics, even in early on in college. It was the greatest experience. It was so life-changing that I kind of wanted to go back to that well a lot. But as I got older, not older even, college, first year out of college, I started to have more bad trips.
Right.
So I was on acid that night when my girlfriend at the time called me to say that Lennon had died. So it was right away. Everything almost got encapsulated in almost like a Boogie Nights way. It feels like Boogie Nights to me. All these things of like LSD and the Beatles and love and all you need is love and all that kind of stuff. All of a sudden somehow turned. It felt like it turned. And I happened to move out to LA at the time when cocaine was replacing,
pleasant drugs.
All
right.
Yeah. And I tried cocaine. Luckily I never had enough money to abuse it. But in other words, I look back now, I feel like I was really struggling psychically.
Okay.
And that's why I think it affected me. I had so much invested in the John Lennon Beatles dream.
Right.
Like, it's gone now. So that is already going in. You can see how I'm already making too much he's too much to me in a way, not too much to me, but just, he symbolized so much to me, but I was placing so much in that image. And then America seemed depressing then. So just,
right.
But
day to day life, what changed is, I guess, my question.
Oh, I think I started to get worse in terms of, I think that was a bad couple of years for like cocaine, maybe not a lot of cocaine, but just like I was basically a fuck up in the sense, not a fuck up in the sense that I could normally call myself a fuck up, but a fuck up in the sense that I didn't want to do anything, and it made me even more not want to do anything, and it made me even more think the end of the world was that here. But here's the weird thing. I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I don't know to what degree it was an OCD thing.
Right.
So like when you say what changed, maybe nothing changed, but it just seemed to me like that was the end of the world, 1981, and Reagan comes in. It just seemed like the world was going to end then in many ways.
Well, now, when you apply the OCD factor to it, I can picture it better.
Yeah.
Because then I go, okay, yeah, he was saying the world's going to end, the world's going to end, the world's going to end for 3 years.
Right.
In his head.
Yeah, I'm not exaggerating.
Right. And I sort of get it better now.
Well, the idea also that I missed the dream was also.
I guess that to me seems like over drama. So I'm trying.
Or immaturity.
Yeah, I guess that's it. It's the over drama of immaturity,
Well, I meet young comics all the time, or young people all the time, and I was like this too. Like, how do you make it?
Right.
So to me, I had a lot involved in making it.
Right.
And being like my heroes, like John Lennon and Bob Dylan. So when I was 21, probably a failure. It's like, it's all this unrealistic thing then crashing down.
Right.
And it's,
How unrealistic was it in the sense of, I'm not asking like, were you good, were you bad, but like, did you ever have the drive? Like, did you have?
Yes, I had
like,
the drive.
did you have demo tapes that were ready to go to hand to people, and were those?
Yes, that's the thing. It's so interesting you saying that because I'm so fucking mad at myself because I really made a promise that I was gonna. There's a song I wrote called "The Califormula."
Okay.
Which I'm very proud of that song.
Okay. Good to know going in.
And I think it's a very funny song.
Okay.
Right? And I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, no, Andy, that song. I mean, put Karen to the side for a second.
Right.
That song was a really good song.
Okay.
So that to me doesn't mean that I was going to, but I don't know how I would have ended up because if you approach anything with that attitude, it doesn't, there's nothing to be known. I imprisoned myself by just constantly thinking, what do other people think of me? It was a very painful time.
Right.
So it was hard to even create, but I did create. But I still felt miserable.
That's my question, I guess, is were you being productive as an artist as you were?
I think so. Because when I look back now at all the stuff that I wrote with really great musicians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if I think back to myself on stage, I wasn't like in control of the stage.
Right.
Like as a comedian would be. But I could also see that I could see it's realistic that if I played another 20 years of music, I would be comfortable at whatever I was doing in music.
Right.
You know,
you never did your 10,000 hours.
I never did my Malcolm Gladwell thing, but that to me, it was more about, I was so miserable that the lesson I learned was that because I hated myself so much, there's no way to know about yourself when you're just in that mode.
Right.
But I do think I really do like the idea of writing songs again, so I'd like to do it.
Good.
How come I always sound defensive, even when I'm not being defensive? I feel like you're just going, well, I'm just asking you a couple of questions. I'm like, what is this about? What is this in reference to?
No, I mean, I'm being fairly interrogatory.
Yeah, interrogatory. Yeah, because that's the thing is like, if anybody wanted to learn from life by looking at us two people, you have to say, okay, well, there's a Jewish life.
Yeah.
Looking at two Jewish lives.
Right.
They were completely opposite in a way.
Our lives?
Yes, because
very different, yeah.
You were on the way and you were in the pocket and you were doing what you know what I'm saying? Like what anybody at that age who wanted to do whatever they wanted to do.
Right.
That's how you did it.
Yeah, no, I never had a searching period in my life. I mean, yes, I've had it, but it's all been within the context of show business. Like
Right.
I'm in a searching period now.
You mean for a new podcast host?
Yeah, well, that's always.
No, why is that always?
That ad is always posted.
You don't think that creates pressure on me? That you know what? I come here every week, and you have a sign that says co-host over here.
Yeah.
It never has my name on it.
It has the X afterwards, though. Co-host X.
I don't quite get that.
But
it's not because I didn't hear it.
It's a generic placeholder.
Oh, okay. Because the first year I didn't hear things. So then that's my bad. As they say.
Second year, I'm going to not get things.
Well, that's because I'm still not going to. It's not second year. Stop saying second year.
Okay.
It's almost a 2-year goddamn anniversary.
Yes, it goddamn is.
And you told me, or is that some kind of secret? Well, it would be with our podcast.
Yeah, it is.
It's not really, right?
No, it is. I don't want to divulge that number.
I'm so glad you said that because if you don't tell me, I'm divulging. I'm the worst spy that you could have. My wife has the numbers. My wife knows. My wife will crack.
All you got just germs.
Germs.
Lick something, put it by her face. She'll talk.
My wife will crack, and I don't trust her myself. Can I go now? All right, that's not the good character.
Not so much.
So that was interesting. I mean, it was like if people want to know back in the 3-way, back in the 2-way.
What
the fuck? I have been telling people though that I am at the part of my life where I have lost the horrible feeling, the downside feeling of ambition, and I mean, I'm not saying I'm without envy. That would be a lie.
Right.
But I feel like I'm over the hump. Now you say, sure, why wouldn't you be comfortable not realizing that this is the most you're ever going to do? Because what do you think? The idea, how else could you act?
Yeah, it's a sort of a chicken or the egg question.
I always wanted to get into regional theater.
Which came first, the lack of desire for fame or the lack of possibility of fame?
Well, you shouldn't be that excited about delivering that kind of material.
No, but I mean, I asked that same question about myself because I feel the same sort of freedom of, I'm looking for some sort of thing.
Right.
But it's not, I can't call it ambition anymore in terms of career. I can't call it careerism anymore, I guess.
No, I think it's a much, see, I think that.
But I also, let me just finish the thought, or I never will.
What?
No, it wasn't even a slam.
Not even me this time.
It was, but I sometimes wonder, well, is that just convenient since since it's irrelevant,
That's the trap of, like, for example, if I believe that there's some kind of God or however you want to look at that, it's convenient to go, yeah, well, you want there to be something.
Right.
So you never can get over that particular argument. But I think if you go down below the initial argument, the truth is that the idea of having to be a star and having to be all these things, those type of things which were good for fantasizing and getting excited about things,
right.
They weren't really what the thing itself was about.
Well, here's a really good barometer, in fact, this week.
Uh-oh.
And I think, I know I sort of passed the test of money where my mouth is on this topic, which is the movie trailer came out this week with you and I in it.
Oh, my God.
For the Fiddling Horse. The teaser trailer for the Fiddling Horse came out. And while I was excited about it, really happy to see it, think it's a really good trailer, it did not cause me to have any fantasies.
Of what?
Of grandeur beyond this movie getting
because
made.
We know it's hanging by a cobweb.
Well, that aside, had it come out 20 years ago, I would have started going, all right, now it's happening.
Yes.
And my brain would start, thinking about what this is going to turn into, And now I'm just like, I'm glad it's going to turn into a movie.
I feel differently about it because I feel like whereas I've let my desire or ambition go, I've kind of allowed not that my hopes would get up, but I've kind of like stopped worrying about it. So there's a part of me that's like, who the hell knows? I mean, I'm not saying we'll be in Cannes. I mean, who knows where this will end? But right. I'm not so sure it won't go somewhere. I don't know.
I'm not saying it's not going to go anywhere.
I'm excited, is what I'm saying.
I'm excited about it too, but I'm not excited about it in terms of the sort of spinning out. It used to be that if any kind of success happened, you would then start extrapolating
Absolutely.
it.
I know that feeling.
And start picturing your new life, kind of a thing. You know, and clearly this wasn't a big enough movie, just in terms of life changingness, to think of it in that.
Right.
Like the money's going to start rolling in, that kind of way. But I used to be that. I used to be okay now, and then you start fantasizing about what's going to happen, and now I'm not. Now it's like I'm really glad this is made. I'm really glad this will be out there.
Yes.
Don't know what's going to happen.
Well, that's the part of the not knowing. Because if I had said to you in '96. If I had set up the scenario of me and you being in this movie, I said, I think that's the most realistic thing to expect of us. We would have never in a million years predicted it. Well, I'm not saying a million years, but it just wouldn't have been, it wouldn't have made sense.
No, it still doesn't.
It still doesn't make sense. Yeah. And that's the exciting part to me because, like, I don't really know what the hell is. First of all, I like the way, because we had seen an early version of the trailer, and then we saw the one, and I love the way it came out.
Yeah, me too.
Because it captures the tone. If it wasn't the only stuff we shot, we would really have a good movie. No, I mean, it's like if the whole movie was just those, like, I love the way I'm drinking a beer. That's all I ever wanted. I'm serious.
No,
people have very small dreams.
I get it.
You go, Andy, you look like you were in fact, I was drinking.
You look like you know how to drink a beer, and now it's on film.
And not only that was the first time in my adult life that I ever enjoyed beer.
Because your character was enjoying a beer.
No, I don't have a character. Here's what my character
not
is.
Having character is different than not having a character.
Here's my character in the movie. Okay. Oh my God, should I pick up that piece of paper before we shoot? Do you think everyone knows I'm a bad actor? Do you think people have to be saying he could have learned at least a couple of lines?
Right.
They have to be saying that.
Sure.
Am I going to have to use the bathroom? Because if I have to use the bathroom, they'll shut down the production. I'm sorry. I thought that was an excellent.
No, I just was giving you room.
Yeah, I know. Don't go crazy.
So yeah, like I said, that was exciting and fun.
I know, but it's like really exciting because first of all, people could have imagined that I would be in a movie or you would be in a movie. But what they couldn't imagine is that here comes like who said this to me? Someone said, "Are you in it again?" After they saw me say,
"Oh, you've come to the right place."
Yes. Yeah. So how you could see us being in a movie, but you couldn't see, or maybe want to see even.
All right.
Two Jews who are starring in a movie,
yes.
And all of a sudden they're the main plot right there, and without getting sick or collapsing.
There's a Goyish Canadian girl though too that has a very major role.
Right. You know who looked cool? I didn't even hear one of the mother of the Wonder Years actor. What's her name?
Allie Mills.
She looked great in that scene. I didn't even see the scene.
She was funny. I didn't actually have a scene with her, but
I know but you did see her that day though, right?
Paula Lindbergh, who plays the Goyish.
By the way, Paula, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but is it her husband?
Who runs the restaurant?
Yes.
Yes. We
went to that restaurant.
I know. Paula actually told me that you went and went, what the fuck is wrong with them not inviting us to when she goes to my husband's restaurant?
Yeah, because because what happened was we had gone to, we had done something that day. When Susan and I get out of the house, we had gone to see the David Hockney exhibit. Like I feel like a regular art person.
Wow.
David Hockney exhibit at this place in Venice.
It's called Hockney a Chinik.
Really? You know what's amazing? Is I could see your eyes getting all crinkly.
I was really going, does he know this Yiddish expression?
No, I do. I do know that, but I don't really exactly. Hock a Chinik, that's pretty good. I mean, what is good?
Don't hock me a Chinik.
Don't hock me a Chinik. What does that mean? Don't
give me shit, is basically what it means.
So it was I'm a big David Hockney fan, and it was a beautiful exhibition. So we went to this restaurant. I thought it was the name of another restaurant, and it turns out to be where Paula's husband works. I don't know. It was a wonderful evening, though, and the restaurant was great, even if you take out the name of it.
Well, good.
Yeah. So I'm very excited. I think it's like I feel like the podcast has happened. We're really running on all cylinders here, Josh. Here's my Andy
and
scene
Floyd
and Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I think it's all happening now.
Are you as dry as me? My mouth feels like it is a cotton. It feels like I put cotton in there and then I put on some drapes. Do me a favor.
Okay.
Take that out
and
send it to me as a bit for my act.
Will do.
All right, now here's a big thing coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this show, it's too late to go see Josh Elvis Weinstein go perform in Acme. But am I wrong?
No, you're correct.
But because we show all the seams in our podcast, which means it's not very good, we like to talk real life. This is go time. Look, don't fucking look. You try to interview yourself better than I'm doing. It would be better.
That would be
but
so
it wouldn't
hard.
be that much better. At least you'd know who you were and you'd be listening to yourself. First of all, how did your set go last night?
I did sets the last 2 nights at the Improv. Last night was in the main room. The previous night was in the lab. And, it was both worthless and very useful in one way because, it was a lab crowd, which was okay, but small,
They're very experimental.
Yeah, you don't get much. And, but I had a real mission to I had this 10-minute chunk that I really wanted to run as a chunk in sequence.
Yes.
And so I was actually very proud of myself that I did both nights get through that sequence of stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's stuff that I hadn't been doing with Segura, and it's stuff that, is not long time material. It's stuff that that's new. So usually doing sets like that, I have a big plan and then I fucking bail immediately.
Right.
Once I see this isn't going to be easy sailing. But I stuck with it and I felt good about that.
That's good.
And it went fine, It didn't go worse, In the context of the night, it went fine. I had perfectly fine sets. Last night I had what was scheduled to be a 12:10 set. and ended up being like a 12:30 something set.
Yeah.
And, there's that energy in the room of like, these people could leave at any time.
Were you the last person?
No, there was like few after me, but
was there fun people? Anybody know there, or was it fun?
Jimmy O Yang was right up before me.
Jimmy
O Yang.
Who is that?
He's the guy who like owns the house in Silicon Valley. Asian.
Is he in your movie?
No.
Oh. I don't even know what you... Oh, I see what you're saying. There's a show called Silicon Valley. He's in it, and he plays a character.
And he was in Crazy Rich Asians as well.
Which I want to see. Okay. Did you see it?
No.
Look how annoyed you're getting. I know you long enough now after 100 episodes. You're like, okay, all right. You've derailed whatever story I was on. Okay, so I know what you mean with those type of sets.
And the other thing is, it's like you get to that time of the evening, and everyone has to make a show about how fucking late it is and how everyone wants to.
I would do it.
Yeah, for sure. But it's
Mr. Late Night.
You can feel it starting to wear on the audience.
It's
a combination of, I know it's late. Oh, there's only 35 more acts left, and like 3 people or 4 people in a row do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then they also do like come on, let's hear it, And
that's
like,
the worst thing in show business.
So the table didn't feel set, when you get up there anyway. And in fact, after I got off, there was a major exodus. And I don't know if it was because fuck this shit or if it was like, all right, that was a satisfying end to our evening. Let's go.
Well, let me tell you something. However you could take it negative, a comic will take it negative.
Yeah.
When I see people leaving, they could be having a heart attack. I assume everyone leaving is only because of me.
But you could feel that tension, and it gets to that point of the night where it's like, everyone is waiting for their break.
Is it a midnight show?
It was like a 10:15 show that just sort of goes till 2 a.m., you know. And by the time I went up, it started, the MC had signed off for the night, so it's like tag team, people bringing up the next act. So it's just like, but whenever an act gets off, a couple people will leave, but you feel this tension of how many people are going to leave at this moment,
By the way, if you're ever wondering, if you have a podcast, and you're wondering, should you take 2 Adderalls, which, if it's a choice, take 2 Adderalls before, or eat edibles at different times of the day, lie about it, because you really are trying to avoid yourself. I would go with take the 2 Adderalls and dig in.
So you're feeling good?
I feel so good that I'm actually frightened.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Your lips are tingling and stuff.
It's my lips are tingling, and I found what I didn't know was cocaine until I tried it. I found comedy. Whoo.
But I gotta say, just the whole after midnight set thing is such an anomaly in my life.
Oh, that has to feel weird for you.
It just feels, it's just like all fucking day. You're like, well, only 9 hours.
When you texted me, I was so tempted to needle you. And I said, why would I do that? I was like, I really was going to say, I cannot tell you how wonderful it makes me feel to know I don't have to leave. And I hate that feeling of now it's 10:30.
Yeah. Still an hour to go.
11. Shouldn't you be heading down to the Improv? Not quite yet.
Don't need to. So yeah, it was, I felt good about it as from a working comic perspective of like, all right, you got work to do and you did it.
Yeah.
That was all good.
But as a married man.
It was just like, I wanted to go to bed.
Well, that's, all the greats, when they go back over their story, they always are like, I wanted to go to bed.
Yes, I think that's true.
Oh my God. I am nailing you. You know what's amazing? When I listen, I'm nailing you even twice as bad. You don't come back. I don't know why it's a contest, but also I'm sweating. Like I know you're going to lower the boom on me.
Yeah.
Because this is the way Susan could lower the boom on me. She'd just go, look, just take a powder. You know what I mean? It's too much. It's nice when I'm going through. You go, oh, it's better than when he doesn't listen.
Right.
But there's something.
There's a little, there's an edge. There's an edge that's not, what's the word, comfortable?
It's not comfortable, but it makes a nice living.
There you go.
Now, do you have any more? What are you looking at your watch for?
I did look at my watch.
That's a big mistake on this show. Because that's what I realized the first show when we listened back to it.
Yeah.
How many times I go, how much have we done now? How much have we do now? Excuse me, sir.
Right, that's why I silently looked at my watch.
Excuse me, sir. Yesterday I was here. I had the jambalaya. Is it spicy? It was very spicy. Would you recommend something else?
I feel like you're trying too hard.
You feel like I'm trying too hard. This is a. I might as well have a green screen that says "Love Me." Okay, I'm sorry about that. But can I say one more thing since I said green screen? And only people who watch the shows that my wife and I will watch will get incensed by this. Watching The Real Housewives, and they do the testimonials. Do I have to explain to you?
No, I'm with you.
Right.
I'm on board.
They do a testimonial. Now, we noticed half of them are in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't shoot the person in an environment for their testimonial? They're shot now, and behind them is Tahiti.
Yeah. And this bothers you? Because
it bothers me.
Because it makes it seem artificial?
Yeah, I don't like fakiness on my reality shows.
About Real Housewives.
Don't start with me because I know you watch The Voice.
Yeah.
Did The Voice just recently have an ending?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't have stakes in who wins. I just, like I said, I get a buzz from the victory feeling of it, the accomplishment feeling.
You don't have to tell me after I've known you this long that you don't have. That's one of your hooks is you don't have stakes in it.
It's true.
Although I bet if you love sports, though, you root fully for your.
Not really.
Is there one team that makes you like, oh God damn it?
No, not really. I mean, during a game I can get into it, but it doesn't affect my mood after the game for a second.
It is the Vikings, though, right?
No, not anymore. I mean, if there's a football team, it's the Vikings. If there's a basketball team, it's the Lakers. If there's
are we in the
baseball
playoffs?
team, it's probably the Twins, or not quite the Dodgers yet, because they went to the World Series and I didn't care that much.
Neither did I. Well, they lost in 4, didn't they?
Don't know. Don't care enough.
Well, here's the thing. I feel very bad about this, but I also feel not bad about it. I just couldn't get into the Final Four. I couldn't get into any of it.
All right.
Have you been watching it, and how exciting is it?
I've not been watching it. No.
This is not the podcast to come to.
It's not Sports Central here.
I know, but sometimes you get, sometimes I'll call you and you're watching something.
NBA is the only thing I care about.
Yeah. So how are we doing?
Well, if we means the Lakers, not
I know
we're kaput.
Have the playoffs started?
No. There's like 2 games left in the regular season.
All right. Who are we rooting for? I don't want to root for the Golden State Warriors.
No, I don't know exactly. I'm not exactly sure who my horse is in this one.
I like the Cavaliers because LeBron's still bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. He's a stupid guy. Boom, bum, ba-bum, bum. The dumb one. Beep, 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 beep. The idiot. Beep, 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 beep. He's a dummy.
So speaking of trying too hard, I went on Gilbert Gottfried's podcast this week too.
That's an excellent segue.
Thank you.
And how was it?
It was actually really fun. It was surreal just hearing Gilbert Gottfried read out my credits at the beginning. It's like I'm sitting because they were in New York, so it was a Skype hookup.
Well, he probably enjoys just saying the words, right? And now this man in Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah, but it was just very surreal. I'm just sitting there going, why is Gilbert Gottfried saying my career out loud? But it was fun, It's their podcast isn't entirely unlike ours in terms of their dynamic and the
him and Frank?
Him and Frank. And they I think they do. It's like if their whole show is homework, that would be the thing.
What do you mean?
Because I don't think they talk about their feelings or things, I don't think they talk about anything personal on the show.
I don't think Gilbert even has his feelings with him.
I'm not sure they're in the studio. But Gilbert's just there at the ready to.
Was he funny?
He was super funny. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was really, really fun. And it was really flattering that Frank had done sort of all that work to know what I've done and who I am, So he had all these questions at the ready to keep things going. And, he had done research and asked people for questions. So there was lots of just very useful cues he could give me,
Is it hard? It's got to be. I always feel like it's a little harder I don't know, when you can't see the person. I guess it doesn't matter.
Well, I could see him on screen. There was a little bit of a delay. That is the only thing that made it. It made it a little bit.
Were they filming you too?
I don't think so, but I'm not certain. But and Frank Frank had been listening to Thought Spiral quite a bit in prep, and listened to the movie stuff, and so he was, like Gilbert's a big fan of The Swimmer, so Frank brought up that I'm not.
He loves that movie?
Yes, he presented it on Turner. In fact, he loves it so much.
Who's
Turner
the star
Classic.
of the swimmer? I forgot.
Burt Lancaster in a swimsuit.
And is it? I completely forget the movie now. He's like, I'd like to go for a swim. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is the plot like?
It's the John Cheever story where he tries to swim home through the neighborhood.
That was so boring. Where are you going now, Burt Lancaster?
So he told me to go fuck myself about that. He told me to go fuck myself about my take on the Nutty Professor.
He says genius. It remains genius to him.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, you do a good Gilbert.
Go fuck yourself.
But he said, well, I have to. Jerry Lewis was very nice to me. I was like, oh, you're the one.
I had to go. I had to actually ask. But I couldn't remember if he was still alive, Jerry Lewis, yesterday.
He's no longer is.
He's not.
No.
And you know what? They say he's 20% nicer now.
Just 20.
No, he's not likable. It's just likable that now. Sorry.
Gastrointestinal pause.
So did you talk about our podcast is what I wanted to say.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Are you kidding me? So we should, when do we?
He said a few weeks it'll be up.
I'm telling you, Josh.
But we got to do a lot of Boys from Brazil talk. I got to do Mangler quite a bit.
Mangler?
We're shutting down the operation. We are not shutting down the operation. They're coming in right now, Mangler.
Give me a little more. Give me a little bit more Gregory Pecola.
You insolent Jew! How dare you ask me?
Joseph Pecola.
I'm Joseph Pecola. I have cloned Robert Mitchum, and eventually it'll grow up into a fine, fine actor.
His name was Gregory Mengele. You wouldn't want to cross him.
And we talked about Patches, the song Patches, which is another fascination of mine.
Patches on Depending on Your Son.
Yes.
Well, you saw the documentary about that studio? Where the guy recorded that song in that studio?
I don't know if I did.
It's a very kind of a popular. It's like a Muscle Shoals group.
Oh, okay.
That recorded that.
My papa was a great old man. I can see him with a shovel in his hand. See, education he never had, but he did wonders when the times got bad. Sometimes life would kick him down on the ground. He'd try to get up, life would kick him back down. One day, Papa called me to his dying bed. Sorry.
I like it.
I could go on.
Do you also like when I like it, but you may not like it?
That was a lot of that show with Gilbert was he and I doing loud impressions.
Now was he able to, but he didn't care about the public domain part of it?
He didn't seem to.
He does in post.
I don't know. We'll see.
Wow, I say. That was fun. That you're on there. I'm telling you. No, forget about next year. This time we're gonna have like a gold-plated mic.
Well, and I walked into the Improv last night. First, when I told the door guy my name, he was like, "I just heard you on what podcast?" Oh, Greg Fitzsimmons this week.
See, Grapefruit Simmons.
Yes, Grapefruit Simmons.
I think people enjoyed that.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any. No one's taken any shots at me, at least.
I haven't been going for shots. I've been actually above the fray for at least a few days.
That's good. How does it feel up there?
It feels good because I actually did a Ricky Gervais tweet that I was very proud of.
Yeah.
Yes, because it was the tweet of God, who I don't like. I know the guy who does the tweet of God.
Yeah.
I don't like him. I don't like that. I don't like that account. No, he's okay.
Okay.
His name is Drysdale, Eric Drysdale. And he used to work on The Daily Show. And he's a nice fella. And he does that show with puppets with Paul F. Tompkins. But I don't like that character. I can't stand the tweet of God. It's like hacky. It's like, hey, it's like he supplies the premise. Hey, if I'm supposed to be omniscient, and because I always love that. Hey, if the existence of God means there's never a bad day, what happened? Isn't that what a lot of that is? How can there be a God if my sister died? I'm not saying my sister died, but I'm saying people who are spiritual, religious, they know that people die.
Yeah.
They don't believe in God because they think.
I I think you've pegged it with a tone that's not entirely what it is. But
I'm telling you that I don't know why I'm angry. But he tweeted something about
Adderall and I'm mad. To Adderall and I'm
that's right.
firing shots around
God,
the room.
you know what, Ricky Gervais?
To Adderall and I'm a cad.
Why am I a cad? Isn't a cad someone who's...
Because it rhymes with mad.
Oh, okay. But don't make me a cad because I'm married. A cad, I think... You know what? Not only do I not do yes and, I don't even try to find the thread of what my partner's doing.
You just do shut it down.
Shut it down.
Okay,
shut it
people,
down.
shut it down.
Look, you're making me nervous with all this improv. Hey, you're really making me nervous with all of this improv. Can we just go to a script? Don't you hate, though, when they have the improv groups and they go, give me this, and then they go down, that's not what we're looking for. They go, name the location, up your ass. And they go, no, keep it clean. I think they should eliminate that part of improv.
I think you're right. First.
But not, you know what? I have the movie Shampoo.
Yeah.
It's out of my fucking mind.
Yeah, it's not.
Over. We can't say those movies were good movies.
I will never rinse and repeat that one.
I never want to see Warren. You know what I don't want to see? I don't want to see Warren Beatty, as handsome as he is, rolling up an iron, whatever the hell he would do every scene. With a little hairbrush iron, his blow dryer.
Yeah.
That was his business in every scene.
Yes.
Well, gotta get to see more heads. Gonna see more heads. What are we gonna do next week? What do you got?
What do you want?
Okay, I want something. I watched something today. I'm not saying we should watch this.
Well, no, that'd be cheating.
That's right, but I watched. I don't know why you said that Milosevic and the other guy were really kind of cool people who just got caught up in the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I watched a documentary about Milosevic and Radic, whatever the guy's name is, and it's not good. They did, but it's a very fascinating thing. That's not what I want to watch. But
Big trouble in Serbia.
Yeah, big trouble. Here's me in the Bosnia-Herzegovina crisis. You better get hide in that underground Mexican restaurant. It's spicy. Even when I'm going to get shot, I don't want to hide someplace. Well, it's spicy. Get down.
Baited me into it.
Get down. Get down. Incoming. It's spicy. Is it lethal? You know what I'm doing tonight? I'm actually disarming you with how horrible I'm being. Not horrible, but I keep saving it with an endearing, idiosyncratic response.
Yeah, you've saved it.
Sure.
You've saved it every time. I'm just really tired tonight, just because I've been.
I thought you were tired. I thought I had to carry the whole podcast last Tuesday. Let me tell you something. Did we do the podcast last Tuesday?
Monday.
It doesn't seem like it's been a long time since we did the last podcast.
No, not so long.
And nothing new has come out, right?
No, 100 will come out.
Oh, folks. Monday. I wish you could go back in time and share your excitement.
I envy you for having never heard
my
Test
God.
Show 100.
It's unbelievable. If I could have, I don't want to say anything anymore. We have so many surprises. Did we have any surprises on the 100 show? Yes.
They'll know by the time they're hearing this.
I know. Why are we
There's
doing
no
it?
anticipation to build.
Yeah, Perush is making a note to Josh and Andy. We don't appreciate it when you're talking in the past about the past. No, that's not his personality.
That's not how Perush rolls. I love Perush rolls, by the way.
I still like Tweet Bahara more than I like, and I love Preet Bahara, but I like the name Tweet Bahara. I still think is the best name on the web.
He'll be pleased by that assessment. That he's holding his ranking.
Oh, you know who died is the guy from that group that I loved.
Now it sounds like old Jewish men.
Do
you know who died? Who died?
The guy from the English Beat and Fine Young Cannibals.
Roland Gift?
Ranking. Oh God, what's worse than someone dying? You're trying to bring up something about it, and you don't even get his name right, or
not Roland Gift or Orzabal.
No,
Roland Gift rather.
No, well, who's that?
Roland Gift was Fine Young Cannibals.
Oh, okay. He's the voice in that song.
Drives me crazy.
No, this is another voice from the English Beat who was also in Fine Young Cannibals.
Gotcha.
If it is that guy, I'm more sad. I like that guy.
Me too.
Because that came to a dream.
Good thing. Where have you gone? Do, 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 do.
I love that group.
Yeah, me too. From Tin Men. That's where I discovered them first.
You know, people make fun of us because we're old Jews who are out of touch, or I am at least. But we're kind of hip. No, we're not. We're not like boring Squaresville, though, are we?
No, Andy, we're not.
Where's your eyes darting back and forth? How long have we done? I'm going to go back to the. I'm going to go back to the original show, Bad Habits. I'm going to take out my watch right now. How much have we done? No, don't tell me.
I'm not going to tell you. Why would I tell you that shit?
Wait a second. Oh, I thought we started at 8. I was like, good evening. Have a safe. What I wanted to ask you before we go to break, which we're not ready for break yet, but what I wanted to ask you was, how are you feeling about, even though it's in the future, past, but how are you feeling in real life about what's happening?
The album?
Yeah.
I feel good. You know, I knew that I would. No, sorry. Like I said, I'm tired.
I thought that was good.
I feel like it's, nothing else will help me but a headline set at this point.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's like my performance chops.
You don't need to do 10-minute sets.
Another 10-minute set's not going to help me. These past 2 did help me just because I feel like, all right, now I will do that 10 minutes now that I feel like even with shitty crowds, it works from beginning to end, you know?
And you go on Monday?
I go Monday, and I'm going to stay with my brother on Monday night.
And would you send your love to my love to him?
Sure, I will.
And you never sent me anything, right?
What was I sending you?
You said you might send me a piece to piece.
I knew that was.
You knew I was going because the thing
errand.
is, oh, Josh, thanks for saying it to me. I got so busy.
Yes, that was a recipe for everyone feels bad.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't have. You know, like I said, the only thing that's really going to help me right now is going out and doing an hour on Tuesday before I record on Wednesday. You know?
Where are you going to do that?
At Acme.
Oh, that's the start of your week.
Yes.
I'm an idiot. I can't. Sometimes it's difficult. Who are you playing with there? Do I know?
I don't know. Joel Madison's coming in on Thursday. He couldn't get out of his.
Did Joel Madison tell you that we had a wonderful whatever we did?
Yeah, so did you.
Yeah, but come on. Where were you? I still haven't.
Not invited. Thank you for asking.
Because the thing is, he sent me an email. It's like, what do we have to worry that Josh is going to find out that we saw each other without him? Why are you like that?
I'm not, but you're both so fucking queer.
When he says queer, he doesn't mean it like old school. You mean like the way the kids talk about it.
Yeah, I meant it as odd and weird behaving.
I think that's fine.
But because you're both so fucking weird that you decided that I was going to be upset if you two had lunch. So Joel told me after that you had lunch, and then you told me that you had lunch. Would
you say that we're both eccentric?
And I appreciate the consideration, I guess, on one hand, but I also am like, do you really think that I would be jealous?
It's all Joel.
You had lunch?
Well, it's Joel. It was the creepy person in this thing because he's the one who actually asked me, could I have lunch on my own? Now, what kind of a human being at his age really thinks that I'm like living here in a cave?
Yeah. The thing meant to protect my feelings hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it just didn't work. Let's have a man cave. Let's open up a club called the Man Cave.
Yes.
I'm ready for a break, I think.
Okay.
No. Not a break.
Not a break?
No, because I want to ask you, well, listen, if I have a couple things I haven't addressed yet, do you want me to do it now?
Yeah, do it now.
Okay. All right. There's a show coming out.
Okay.
With Tracy Morgan, who I love. You know, okay. I don't know if I'll watch the show. I think I tried to watch and I couldn't watch it. Right.
Okay.
Do you know the name of the show?
Like, Bust It Out or something.
Right. So there's a scene where the guy's yelling at him, "You can't touch an owl," and Tracy Morgan says, "What's an owl?" And the guy goes, "An old white lady." And then Tracy goes, "Huh?" That joke. You can't use that joke in a tease. Because what's wrong with that joke, you ask me? If I said to you, don't touch an owl, would you not know what an owl was? You go, what owl? But he says, what's an owl? And I'm incensed by it, Josh.
I don't understand your hang-up exactly.
Okay. Because you don't see the scene. Tracy Morgan's in the bushes.
Okay.
And there's an old white lady lying passed out.
Okay.
And the guy goes, "You can't touch an owl." And then Tracy Morgan says, looking around, "What's an owl?" And then the guy supplying the joke says, an old white lady. And I'm saying that no one would ever say, what's an owl? They would go, what? There's an owl? And they go, no, it's an old white lady. Oh, it's a great joke. It's funnier.
Okay.
Am I not right about it, though, technically?
I guess not. I guess you're right, I guess. I'd have to see it to really pick a side.
Let's put this in the category of things that you'll never care about.
No, I never did in the entire time you've been talking about it.
Okay, the Bush year. I'm very upset about
It's another Andy saw commercial story.
Yeah, it really is. Okay. I was hoping you would class it up. This Bush year is on everything CNN does with these Tricky Dick. I liked the first episode of that because it doesn't look like their usual. Here's a scene from Nixon's life, and we'll make a fact. But I just can't. I don't want to see the Bush years. Okay, maybe there's nothing there.
This is your version of
what's my beef? I watch TV. This is my executive time.
My beef with CNN right now is fucking Anthony Bourdain. I'm sorry, but it fucking bums me out. I can't. It's like listening to Cosby records almost. You know?
Yeah.
It's like Cosby can't be funny. Fucking Bourdain can't be life affirming anymore.
It's an absolute fact.
It really does bum me out. It really hurts the show a great deal that he killed himself.
I think the way you just said that, it was the first time I ever really got why it was so annoying to see him.
Yeah.
Because he's not. Because the thing is, when someone dies, it's like Spalding Gray. And if Spalding Gray had a weekly show and he commits suicide, which I think he did, you wouldn't want to see it every other week. You know, the week before he committed. So it's off-putting because it makes you think that CNN is only interested in getting money.
It makes you
and throwing stuff on TV, just blanketing the airwaves with garbage.
Yeah, it really is. It's time. It's time to stop.
Well, they were going to make new ones with and cast. Why don't they just get another idea for a show? I'll watch that show with Sanjay Gupta.
Yeah,
no, I'm not going to watch that show.
Are
you?
No.
I like Sanjay Gupta.
I don't know. Sanjay Gupta is one of those weird. It's been interesting to see their whole sort of TV career evolve.
Yes.
Where it goes from at first he was just like this doctor who would do occasional segments.
Right.
And then he became bigger and bigger. It's like, you know, it goes back to like OJ times where you saw all these people like Greta Van Susteren and where these people.
Is that where she got
yeah,
famous
she
from?
was first an OJ pundit.
I forgot that.
But it's so interesting, and it happens with the elections too. Certain people, it's like they come on, and then there's always this phase where they get sort of self-aware about what they look like on TV, and they start glamming up a bit, and
yes.
they start to evolve their brand. And it's always interesting to see.
I think a good example of that would be Bob Costas for me. Because Bob Costas, I remember even liking that show that was after Later.
No, it was later.
He started the show.
Yeah, it was later with Bob Costas.
He seemed like an interesting guy, but then very quickly I didn't want to watch him anymore.
Yeah, he embraced his blowhardiness a little too much.
What seemed like when he first came on that show, and he had Bill Murray on, and he had all these, he had a side of his personality that was interesting. Like, you know, he's curious.
Yes, but it was always the knowledge-packed question.
That's the thing I can't stand. Right. And also the self-righteousness.
Yeah.
You know, with anything would happen with, this man was on steroids, and, you know, just the whole thing with the steroid era bothered me because I don't think you can have a sport where if you can do steroids, you can, and people can choose not to because then it would be an uneven playing field and it's too dangerous. But this whole thing of the way they're making it like crazy that these people were doing this, because like Willie Mays said that they took everything they could back in those days. So it's like it's not crazy that these bicyclists, like I think something's wrong with cycling because it's not crazy the way they drug up for it. The sport itself is crazy.
Yeah.
I know that's a bad argument, but you get kind of what I'm saying.
Not really. I mean, you're saying it's okay in baseball, but not okay.
No, it's not okay at all. It's not okay at all, except there's a fine line between the science of exercise and things that can help you.
You're saying it's unfair to single out the steroid users when the history of baseball is people getting whatever competitive edge they could in their day.
Not exactly that, but I didn't like the way the owners made the baseball players. They said they were going to be anonymous tests.
Yeah.
And then they revealed who the tests were.
Right.
I don't like the way they were like, the players are dirty and it's like the baseball owners are dirty in general. So I don't know exactly what I'm saying is, but I didn't like the whole thing. These players are dirty. Let's stop. Although I didn't like those guys anymore. When I think back about McGwire, I don't think of him as good as Babe Ruth or, he's not as good as the people who didn't take steroids.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that chase between him and Bonds was pretty damn exciting at the time, and Sosa.
Yeah, it was.
It
was exciting. Maybe I'm wrong about it. I'm ready for. But then Sammy Sosa.
I mean, Barry Bonds was, and I'm fully convinced he was chock full of steroids. Mm-hmm. But it was, he did more on steroids than anyone else ever did on steroids. Right. Because when he was clean or clearly not at least deeply abusing steroids early in his career, he was one of the most amazing players.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was interesting to see how when you take that sort of superior skill and then combine it with performance-enhancing thing, it's like, wow, no, he's a super player now.
Well, the thing
it kind of throws everything out of whack.
Well, Willie Mays was his godfather.
Yes.
And Willie Mays was the one who was defending him, saying, we took anything
right.
in our days.
So he's his godfather defending him. So
it's his godfather, but he's also saying, what Willie Mays was saying is like...
Do you ever read Ball 4 by Jim
I love that book.
Yeah, it's great. And it's saying the same thing, which is like, we fucking took everything.
Yeah. So...
But it was amphetamines and caffeine and, things like that they would take.
Right. Like me taking...
Like you, exactly.
Adderall.
Yes.
So the thing is... Anyway, the whole thing, obviously, the steroids are different. They are different. I don't believe that they can just not regulate it because I just think people will die and have an unfair advantage.
Yeah.
And we'll be back with more things.
But do you think any of those guys, do you think Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame?
Well, it's so hard. Like, here's the thing. Ultimately, whether someone's in the Hall of Fame or not in the Hall of Fame is kind of irrelevant in terms of real life. So I would say that Barry Bonds, you can't look at his career and say he wasn't one of the greatest ball players of all time.
Right.
You can't I don't think you can say it was just the steroids. And it's the same thing with Pete Rose. I don't think he should not be in the Hall of Fame because he cheated on baseball. I think that's ridiculous. He should be in the Hall of Fame, and he's also a creep.
Right.
I mean, I understand that you don't want someone who's betting on sports to be working in the sport.
Right.
So... What do you think?
I'm sort of in the it doesn't really matter category in some ways, but I don't know. I mean, I think Pete Rose's stuff, he should go in as a player. His record as a manager should probably be struck.
Yeah,
since that seems to be what's sort of proven is that he was betting at that time. His accomplishments as a player are hard to ignore in the history of the game, but I also think on his plaque during his career as a manager, he was accused and
you can't exorcise this whatever. You can't just take.
But I don't understand how baseball, like when these guys get like Mike Trout getting fucking almost $500 million contract. Mm-hmm. It's like cognitive dissonance for me. It doesn't seem like baseball is relevant enough a thing anymore to generate the kind of income to pay a guy $500 million to be a power hitter.
Well, but the thing is that baseball is the way baseball is now is a direct result of the power of the Major League Players Association and the people who sacrifice like Curt Flood and Lou Brock and those people who
but you're just being a blowhard saying what you know. I'm talking about what's the economics of current baseball.
Wait a second. Hold on a second now. Let's back up a second.
That was just such a know-it-all. Well,
that really was.
Today is...
That really was. I think what happened was, I think I started to feel like I was on a sports program. You know what I mean? Like we're Mike and Mike. Yes. That's how it felt. It felt creepy. It felt
That's why I had to
creepy.
stop it.
What was I saying even? I don't know. I think I was very high.
Flood, the Players
That's stupid.
Association.
Okay, but without
I knew this was not going to anything valuable.
Take the Blowhardy thing out of it, because that's mostly I'm saying stuff to people to show how smart I am. That's 95% of my life. Like if you hear a song, oh, I know that song. Okay?
Yeah, right.
But if you take that aside, the fact that they don't have a salary cap and all that kind of stuff,
right?
That's why it's actually fairer.
I
know you understand.
I understand that. My question is where's that money coming from? That's a shit ton of money to pay one guy to play one position on a team. I guess it's just the fact that there's 162 games in a season, and you're getting 81, 30,000 plus seating events in a season to pay for it. But it's still mind-boggling to me that people can make that much money for this sport that seems like it's really on the wane.
You think it's on the wane?
Seems like it to me.
I don't know about that, but anyway.
Apparently, I'm wrong. But
is it a Howard Stern move for the team? Who got him again? The
Angels,
Phillies.
There's like three. There was three players that each got Don't. Why?
Shut the fuck up.
Why?
I don't want to read the paper. Just tell me who the fuck it was.
No.
Without your stupid thing
No.
where you're making fun of me because I'm doing your work.
Well,
I'm asking
you see, Josh.
who's Trout though? Who's the Trout one? Give me that
The
one.
Angels. Mike Trout.
It's on with the Angels. So I think it's like a lost leader type thing. It's like Howard Stern with, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be on a sports show.
I don't want you on
I
one.
want it. If
I could end this let's just end it dead. Let's just end it now.
No, let's not, because if we have a choice between the sports show or the place to go for drug information, I want to be I want us to fucking be sponsored by the Higher Path or whatever. Let's get it going.
Right, because this is the man who started show one.
Don't mention the pot.
That character is almost like a perennial icon, or like a archetype.
Yeah.
We're gonna get arrested. Don't mention the marijuana. No.
You know what? If I wasn't here and you didn't, and what about that?
That was my dream for this evening.
Hey, do you think that putting the me in method acting, I think, is a good line? Have you heard that line before?
No, I've just seen.
So I'm going to take that.
I've seen the tweet.
I'm going to don't be that way. I'm not being a blowhard, but you want me to do my impression again of me?
Yeah, I do.
Well, actually, Josh, you bring up something that's very interesting. The reason why baseball is in the predicament that it's in is very much that the people like Kurt Flood and Lou Brock and Donald Fair. I don't know if you're familiar with the name Donald Fair, F-E-H-R. I can't remember the name of the original guy who is the big negotiator.
Bowie Kuhn?
No, he was
Kennesaw Mountain Landis?
No, the guy who was the players rep guy. He was like a famous guy.
Yeah.
Like F. Lee Bailey almost.
Right, but no, Marvin
Hamlish. Marvin Miller.
Yeah.
See? Now
Together, we have a memory.
Why am I not a blowhard now? It's so funny because as you were saying that, I could feel a little buzz, but not what you think. I was like, yeah, I'm in the fucking pocket.
Well, and as I was saying it, I was like, wow, this is incredibly rude of you to say, but I'm glad you're saying it.
Well, here's the thing, and I think this is because of therapy, is that I am able to look at my behavior and say to myself, I'm not a monster because I was acting like an idiot.
Right.
But then I don't have to defend that I wasn't doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. That's not what it was, Josh. I happen to know a lot about the thing, and it's interesting for the listener.
All right, now we can take a break.
God damn
baby.
it. God damn it.
I don't have anything really to play in mind, but what
You know what's terrible? I'm going to bring that music in, but I don't have the music in. So I got the music in me. Should we start out with nothing at the break? And as a thing of starting and oh God. What do you think we should do?
I don't know. Did you have tape of your most recent set?
Yeah, I can do that.
Send me that.
Okay. Folks, very excited. I made a great Josh, did I tell you that I had a set and I took a clip for the show?
Wow, I would love to hear that.
Why is it that you can't act now?
Why?
Your acting was excellent in the movie.
I was in the moment there.
Did you laugh though when I took a sip me taking the sip of the thing?
The beer in the trailer?
It's great.
It's amazing.
So, this is me.
My first thought seeing that trailer was, my dad was in a movie?
Wait, is that you or me?
That was me.
You didn't look as Jewish as I was worried about.
No,
I thought that they would be that you'd look at the.
I'm telling you, you suck all the Jew air.
No.
Way in this
I
movie.
look so waspy, but I thought it would start out and people would hear da 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 da. Look, I need to win the horse race. Da 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 da.
You've come to the right place.
When two Jews get in the wrong business, things get schwitzed.
What's the plan?
I could plot a win Markingdale.
Have you met my shiksa wife?
Hey, Josh, he never asked me how I am.
How are you?
Don't ask. And we'll be back with more of Thought Spiral. I think we can all agree now that Charles Manson is not a good guy. Folks, come on. When all the dust is settled, come on, I don't care. Like they say on cable news, regardless of your feelings of whether you like Hitler or not, you have to admit his numbers are up. It's German cable news, 1933. Regardless of how you feel about the Jews, you have to admit the Hitler anti-Jew things. Folks, the joke is already over my own head. So anyway, Charles Manson, you got to give him one thing. Not really. I want to do jokes about people who, like murderers, but maybe they've lost their zing. So it's not like. Do you look out in the parking lot for a second? It's not like the whole Tate LaBianca family came down to the show. Those are some of the people involved in the Manson murders. All right, now look, Tate LaBianca. That's all I thought about in the 60s. So anyway, but Charles Manson, you have to say, at least he had good taste in music, right? He took the Beatles lyrics and he went crazy, but that showed that he had a certain amount of class. I mean, a serial killer into Maroon 5? You do the math, folks. A serial killer into fill in the name of a current band that isn't very good?
So while we were away at the break, we
were talking
about stuff. So I'm gonna put a little bit of it together so you can hear what we were talking about.
I'm telling my therapist things that I am thinking in my mind that I'm not proud of, which has been good for me.
Right.
So I said to her, it's like, my image is, what if he cuts me off? What if I get in a fight with him?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, that'd be an interesting thing to ask him. But it's like, I feel like those things are not right to think those things.
Right.
That's how I've lived my whole life.
Right.
I'm not supposed to think. And that's just not the truth. Thinking those things is human.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't mean you're bad because you're thinking about it, but if you just deny it and you push it down and go, I'm not worried about it, or you go the other way and go, I am worried about it,
right?
But I'll never be able to solve it.
No, but recognizing the ugliness of what your thought is and then going, okay, that's not the thing to think. That's kind of how I do it. Where it's like, I have those ugly thoughts for sure, but you go, okay.
Yes.
Good to know that's in there, but that's not where you should be living,
Yeah, but I think that when you're doing it from a rational point of view where you're saying, but if you irrationally are not able to process negative stuff because you're so hard on yourself, then you can't say, that's not a good thought. So what I would do is I would push out every thought that I would have that seemed unpleasant at all.
Right.
And that wasn't working.
Yeah, I try to acknowledge all my horrible thoughts.
Yeah.
And call them what they are, but give them space to exist anyway, kind of, what I mean?
Yeah. So.
Because I have plenty of horrible in me.
That's interesting you say that because I always think my problem is overvaluing the thought that, like when my therapist will say, like, well, you're a kid. That's the way you thought. Like if I saw my brother get picked on,
right.
I knew, I'm not getting picked on.
Yeah.
That's normal for you to have that feeling. It's just normal.
It is.
Yeah. So to not wanting to have, I have a big thing of like wanting to go back in my life. If I made a documentary of my life, I'd make the perfect decisions at the appropriate times. And
right.
That's just another thing that my family did was like, you have to be perfect.
Right.
And they didn't even say you had to be perfect, but if you weren't perfect, you'd hear about it.
Right. Yeah, no, we've talked about that difference is I always felt sort of safe.
Yeah.
In terms of I never thought that the love of my parents was a negotiable item. You know?
Right.
I thought it was a given, a constant. So,
well, the background to
I could disappoint them, but I couldn't make them not love me.
Yes.
And it never felt like it was going to be an irrevocable disappointment, you know, or an irreversible disappointment.
And the other part of it that's been very important for me is to be able to say, to acknowledge, to say when things are hard for me to let go, that it is the OCD. It's like, it's because the OCD may never go away. It may never, but the fact that I keep thinking about these things over and over doesn't mean there's more power. It doesn't mean they're any more real.
Right.
So it just means like, yeah, okay, you're going to feel that way.
Right.
That's the OCD. And,
I mean, I think of it, you know, I always think of it as sort of like brainstorming in a way. That sort of, there's no bad ideas.
yeah.
It's like you're allowed to have whatever fucking thoughts you need to have in your head in order to behave properly.
Right, but
You
that's
know-
not good for OCD people, though.
No, I know.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm not. This isn't a prescription for you. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you how I.
The general thing.
Yeah, that I believe that let those horrible thoughts exist, but make sure that there's other things populating the area. You know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the thing in my family was, you shouldn't. Like, I would have these negative thoughts, and then I didn't want to get. The whole thing is, don't get caught having a negative thought. So it's all about like not realizing that all humans talk about each other behind their backs. All people are capable of, selfish behavior or whatever. We're all. It's all human, and my family was like, if you saw any of that behavior, the big thing was like, judge that person and have them stop.
Right.
So it was like a competing who can be the best human.
Yeah, and my family was super judgmental, but it wasn't ever like this thing of. It was always more just about identification rather than condemnation.
Right. That sounds healthy to me.
You know, like
healthy.
that person is that.
Yeah.
You know.
Because if I was going to say something about my uncle that I saw, and then that meant that my uncle was a bad person, or whoever it is that I'm talking about, then it becomes the stakes about not doing these things. Like, oh, I saw my uncle complaining about the quality of the Harvey's Bristol cream, or whatever. It's like the noticing of it could have even been more fun. The judgmental thing could
We
be
had
more
fun
fun.
with it. We
had more fun with that.
absolutely had fun with it. So
Yeah, had fun with it.
we did. So do you want me to not include any of that?
You can include all of that.
Okay. So that was what we talked about at the break.
Yeah, we were talking about.
Good job on that stand-up, too.
Yeah,
That
I'm going to
stand-up
send
clip?
that to you. Like, you don't think I'm going to. Wait a second. When do you need to send this out?
Just get it to me in the next couple of days.
Doesn't that? What day is today?
We have a whole
Oh, I see.
We're
I
a
see.
show ahead.
I see. Do you? I think after doing this for 15 or 20 years, I'll be able to figure out
We'll be in the pocket.
a big oil.
Yes. Let's go to questions.
Hey, everybody, you've got questions. You've got concerns as well. Well, send them over to Thought Spiral Show. I'm sorry. I lost the will to live.
Fair enough.
We didn't decide about the movie, though.
Oh, we should. What do you want to watch?
Well, I wanted to kind of watch something. I always want to watch something like serious and intense. But
Well, you know what I did this week? I joined the soon-to-be-launched Criterion channel.
oh, you did?
I did.
They're going to show all those great
They're going to be, it's like a whole... their
on
own little-
on Time Warner or whatever it is, Spectrum.
No, it's
You don't have to tell me.
No, it's like an online. It's like a Netflixy thing. So you use an app on your.
Oh,
you can
what do
get
they
it through
charge?
Apple TV. You can get it through.
Okay, I think we should do that. Then.
Roku. You can get it through.
I think we should get it.
Okay.
Well, how much is it?
I think it was like $89 for the year.
Okay,
Or
Yeah,
or
deductible.
$10 a month or something.
it's deductible, and the movies are amazing.
Yeah. So it'll be a good pool of stuff for us.
Okay, you want to look at that and then come up with something, or
Next
no?
week. It doesn't launch until the 8th, I think. So. We're taking another week off from homework because I got to do the album this week. So
That actually sounds like the most important thing.
it's more now. We're taking spring break from homework. Actually,
You know what? A lot of people find it delightful that we have anything that we go back to.
no commitment to anything except
Questions
questions.
from our wonderful fans.
Right. So, Guy Incognito says, Will we ever see one Andy Kindler on your mom's house to discuss brown talk and his favorite subject of potty humor? Josh, convince him. I've thought about that.
What was it? Well,
He's talking about your mom's house, which is Segura and Christina P's podcast.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my mom's house.
And they talk about shit a lot and potty things that make Andy go,
It makes me very queasy.
So are you saying that you'd like more of that?
Guy Incognito is trying to convince you to go on. Why not?
Look, I'm totally okay. I'll say something. Last week I had a little stomach ache, and it wasn't. But then went away.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll get into it.
I can't convince him, but if I asked, we could go on there.
Different. To that on that. Will they force us into a talk about shit?
No, but if you're going to be a good guest,
I'll be a good guest.
No, you won't. I'll go on without you.
You son of a bitch. The last thing Segura needs is me.
The benighted Swiver says, when will you start writing your Oscar acceptance speeches?
I have mine written.
Good.
I can't believe this. I can't believe it. I didn't even write anything. This is unbelievable.
Unfolds long 15-foot scroll.
Where do I begin? I will never write an Oscar speech. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to be up for an Oscar anytime soon.
Just spiritually. I'm not up for it.
No. I like to refer to it as Oscar.
Yeah. Leah Beale asks, do you like the way the Fiddling Horse trailer came out? I do.
I love it.
I mean, the me part of it is a little bit jarring. But other than that.
The lines that they pick are excellent. Is she going to be a problem? Yeah, she's going to be a problem.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a good trailer. I thought CJ did a good job.
We're up for a Trally award.
Mark Thompson says, do you find a lot more of your audience on their phones these days during your stand-up?
I don't notice that.
Yeah, it's pretty explicitly forbidden in clubs.
I mean, I see people using them, but it's not like whatever. Usually I always figure people are figuring out their bill in general during my show.
Right. Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, yes, it's an issue in clubs, but it's one that good clubs address and police for the most part.
It's an issue in general in all of our lives. And I find myself all day long still going, I should go search for something on my phone. It's a big problem.
I put it down. I don't grasp my phone all day.
But you're on Twitter a lot, though.
I am, but it's my laptop usually.
Oh. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm trying to make everything have
I'm usually avoiding work as opposed to avoiding life.
That's true. Yeah. I want to watch more. I want to read more.
I want to go out to lunch. I want to be normal again.
What's that from?
Private Benjamin.
Oh. I never saw that movie. Is
really?
it good?
You never saw Private Benjamin?
Uh-oh.
God,
No. Is it?
We can watch it. I haven't seen it in years. I saw it plenty, but I'd watch it again.
I'll watch it.
All right. Well, if nothing else, even if I don't watch it, you watch it.
Okay. And tell you how it was.
No, I can be conversant in it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That way, I'll try to watch it.
All right.
But if I don't, we can still talk about it.
And I'm not saying this because I'm a man, but because I'm a misogynist. But is she sexy in the movie?
Yeah. I think it's peak Goldie Hawn in many ways.
Of course. It sounds like it's a better movie than I thought it was.
It's good and bad. I mean, there's funny stuff in it. Albert Brooks is in it at the beginning.
I like that. What? All right.
Yeah, watch it.
Okay.
It's I'd say it fits within the homework.
Of what we've been doing.
Yeah, in terms of filling in a gap.
Or reevaluating the classics.
Seems like that's a gap.
It seems to me like it was during the 80s or maybe.
It was like right around 80.
Yeah.
Maybe
I had no
81.
desire to see it at the time.
Yeah, understood.
Well, because John Lennon was dead.
Right. It changed everything. The voice of the New York Dodgers says, will you guys admonish me to record my sets? I never remember. Thanks. You're the reason Mondays aren't so bad. Yeah, record your sets.
The thing you can do what I do. Record them and don't listen back to them.
Right.
But I do sometimes listen back to them. But if you say to yourself, I don't care, I may never listen back to this, it's a good habit to get into.
It is a good habit, and it's good when you hit that magic phrasing of something you've been working on, you know?
Yes.
That's what, you know, like I've been recording all these sets the last several weeks because...
Do you listen back?
Yeah, if it's something I need to remember right,
yeah.
you know? In general, I don't listen to them immediately, but if there's something that was a breakthrough or if there's something that I want to make sure that I'm remembering right, it's good to have. Like I will probably listen to at least parts of these sets from the improv the last couple nights because I was working on that new bit, and I did find some phrasing that just by saying it out loud that will help me.
There's no solid argument against recording your act,
Right.
and there's only upside that can be done.
True enough.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure to be a part of your.
Stand By Your Man says, I may have the opportunity to go see Dennis Miller for free soon. Should I go see the train wreck in person and report back?
Please do. Please do, because I
was going to say don't do it on our account.
No, just do it on our account.
Okay.
It's because he says is it a she or a he?
It's Stand By Your Man.
Stand By Your Man. I think you got to go. If it's free,
I don't know. It's Samana de Tiburon. It's hard to say who it is.
Okay, well, I think if you got a free ticket, go.
Yeah,
Because
I think so too.
It could be fun, and
it's not going to be funny for the right reason, but it might be very funny.
It could
for
be
the wrong
fun to
reason.
hate watch.
Yeah. Perush says, "What's an isotoner clef?" I don't know. Is that something you said? I don't know.
Isotoner. I know an isotoner glove.
Yeah, and you know a clef. So
Is it a clef? Is the treble or clef? Am I wrong?
The treble or clef? It's
the treble, bass, clef.
Bass, clef, treble.
What is clef? The word means nothing to me now.
Wow. Thank you,
Yeah.
Perush.
Perush, you've confused us. If that was your goal.
It's the name of a prog rock band.
Oh, called Isotoner?
I'm kidding.
Oh, you got me.
Derek Faraci says, if you guys arm wrestled, who would win?
Josh.
The listener.
And Josh. I'm a small, puny man. Can you imagine there's any test of strength that I'm going to beat you at? But why don't we do for this email? Well, let's do a tug of war. Let's do maybe I could beat you at the 100-yard dash.
Maybe.
Let's not do it. No. This is when you get your Achilles tendon ripped out. What is it going to prove?
No,
that
I wasn't.
one old Jew is slightly slower than the other old Jew.
I was saying maybe. I
think we should do it then.
I know. I would have conceded that.
We should do it when we go on our listener cruise.
Right. Once around the deck.
On the Lido deck.
Yes. But after 100 yards, my sciatica will cripple me.
You shouldn't even go 100 yards. Whatever happened? Did Josh ever have that second operation? No, he decided to go into sprinting.
Yes. Cynthia C. says, hi, Andy and Elvis. What 3 life events / experiences shaped your worldview, formed your values, made you who the men you are today?
I would say
the death of John Lennon. We know we've already covered one today.
That was one. When I made people laugh when I was a little kid, and I didn't realize and I realized I could be funny. And then last week when I realized it's all over for me, I'm a failure, and what's the point in continuing?
Perfect.
What do you got?
Let's see. Well, starting stand-up, that was a big moment.
That's true.
That January night in 1987. Probably, I mean, maybe leaving Mystery Science Theater. That definitely
sounds pretty major.
That was pretty major. And probably when I proposed to Allison, that was sort of the big moment. Once she said yes, I felt married, pretty much.
Right.
So, yeah. I think
I left out one, which would be June 83, when I left University Stereo, which is a stereo store, and I realized I was not going to go into a job ever again where I could actually move up, right. It was manager. And that's when I got into waiting tables. So that was a big break for me of being able to have a job that you could then do other stuff with.
Oh, okay.
God, I'm boring.
Like moving from a career to a job, essentially.
I don't know. Whatever I said was boring.
Moving from a dead-end career to a job.
Get somebody who could describe their life better. No, true. No, because I really didn't realize that you could have a job. I've said this before. I never realized you could have a job you like. and I liked waiting tables.
Right.
I thought there was only going to be terrible day jobs and whatever you wanted to do for a living, like comedy, whatever.
Right.
But I love waiting tables. Now, a lot of people don't.
So the revelation was that you could have a job and not
Yes.
be miserable.
That's it. That was major.
Gotcha. I don't think I ever got there.
No. Did you have a lot of day jobs?
No.
Yeah, I had a lot. I had a fair amount.
No, I had one when I was 16, and that was the last one.
What was that job?
Target.
Paper? Huh?
Target.
Wow.
Red vest motherfucker.
Did you like working there?
No, not at all.
And did you have to, people come up and say, wait, can you tell me where the...
No, yeah. I was in housewares, so it was a huge department. And I did everything from stock shelves to move entertainment centers to...
What was the worst part of the job? It was just boring?
Super boring, yeah. And people were dumb. People were super, super dumb.
And how about the employee discount?
It wasn't that relevant to me at that age.
No.
I didn't need many furnishings.
Yeah. I'm so happy I worked there because I got money off of a photo album.
Right. Yoshi Yamamoto.
Yoshi Yamamoto.
Andy, does it surprise you that Bernie Sanders and Larry David are distantly related? Or Bill Maher and Bill O'Reilly? Or me and Demi Lovato?
Is it true?
The apple doesn't fall far from the thing.
It's very confusing to me. What was the first people he said?
Bernie Sanders and Larry David.
All I can think of is that I just feel like Bernie Sanders is going to bring me a lot of I'm going to get annoyed. I guess just not listen to him. How do you make yourself get excited about Bernie Sanders?
I don't, but I'm trying to. I'm really on very much on pause.
Yeah, that's good.
With the current, because I do think that there's a lot of smart, decent people.
We could get someone,
but I haven't developed a passion for any of them yet.
It'd be silly to do it now.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be Joe Biden.
I don't either, but I'd still vote for him.
I'd vote for Hitler over Trump.
Chaotic Neutral says, hey guys, when the Fiddling Horse becomes the biggest comedy of the year, which one of you gets to host SNL and which one is the musical act?
I think you would be the musical act with Allison, right?
I guess so. Just to protect America from you being the musical act.
And we co-host.
Yes, thank you.
Do you know that Adam Sandler is going to host Saturday Night Live and that he never hosted it before?
I saw that, yes.
Didn't that surprise you that he never hosted them before?
Not a lot.
This is my new Rachel Maddow thing. Yeah. That is the greatest commercial. You know what makes you want to watch a show? This makes you want to watch a show. Am I getting this right? Do I understand this correctly? Am I phrasing this? What about this don't I know? Is it hot? Who took my beer? Is it spicy?
I was just hoping you went somewhere else than last week, and you did a little bit.
What did yeah, well, there's always the inability of me to drop a bit plus time equals something will end up.
Right.
I'm glad that that's all the letters that there were.
Well, I'm going to give you a couple of emails.
Okay.
So Eric in Brooklyn says, hi, longtime listener, first-time emailer. I was listening to your show while on a plane recently, and some very light turbulence caused a lady behind me to burst out that we're going to crash and die. We didn't. Then this week on the New York subway, while listening to the latest episode, and you two were talking about not listening to a lot of music, a wacky passenger got angry with another on a very tight rush hour squeeze, and it had me thinking this could end very badly. It didn't. No offense, fellas, but if I had my choice knowing what would be the last thing in my ears at the moment of the big finish, I don't think I'd pick Thought Spiral.
I wouldn't. I definitely would.
Probably I'd go with very old jazz or blues songs. What would you pick?
I would pick...
What do you want to go out to?
Take a Letter, Maria. I don't want to go out.
I would have thought Knock Three Times if you were going Tony Orlando.
That's a song my mom always liked. She said, that's nice. I would like to go out with My Way. I don't know. I don't want to go out to anything.
That's hacky. My Way's pretty hacky.
It is. It is. How about you?
Last Train to Clarksville.
I would go out. Okay, my favorite song written by a guy who knew he was going to pass away would be the Warren Zevon's "My Ride Is Here."
Yeah,
that's a great song. It's a song about it's time to go.
All right.
Oh God, I don't know what happened to me, but about 9:30, I got a little.
It's like happy trails to me. Jamie Wells says, "Hey, I have a question I was hoping you could discuss on your show. Which of the most often cited greatest films of all time is the most deserving of this title, and which to you both is the most disappointing?"
Ooh.
Thinking of films along the lines of Godfather, Kane, Casablanca, 2001, Vertigo, Seven Samurai, etc. Thanks, love the show, one of the best going.
I think Gone with the Wind is a horrible movie, and I had an instinct that when I saw it was a horrible movie, and that it was racist, not just from the time period, but I think I was right. It was just bad. But that's not considered to be one of the greatest movies.
It kind of is, yeah. Do you want me to look up the AFI list and see?
Yeah.
Go down the top 10? But I agree with you. I really dislike Gone with the Wind, both as melodrama and as...
it's better as melodrama than it is as history.
Yeah. Okay, here's the AFI 10th anniversary edition of the 100 Years, 100 Movies list. At number 1 is Citizen Kane. Holds up, great movie, I think.
I agree.
Godfather, same deal.
Absolutely.
Casablanca, solid.
Yes.
Raging Bull, absolutely solid. Singing in the Rain, I could see, actually.
I haven't seen it.
Let's do that.
Okay, Singing in the Rain.
Singing in the Rain. We're doing Singing in the Rain.
It's like a musical, though.
I know, but I've seen so many scenes from it, but I've never sat down and watched it beginning to end.
Is that the one where the guy goes, Donald O'Connor goes up
And
the
Gene
wall?
Kelly. And it's,
Singing in the Rain. Okay.
We don't have to do it this week, even if you want to do. What were we doing?
Well, the thing was, you wanted
do Private Benjamin, and then next week we're doing Singing in the Rain.
Okay. Unless we get another thing from the list that we love.
All right. Gone with the Wind at number 6. We're both going. So number 6 is the first place where the list breaks down for us.
Yes.
Lawrence of Arabia, I love.
I never saw it.
Really?
Maybe I did. It's
Oh,
4
my
hours
God.
long.
It's like 3, but it's really great.
I've never seen it.
Okay.
You think I should see that instead?
Up to you.
It's long, right?
It's long, but it's
It's 4 hours, right?
I think it's like 3 hours. I think we just said this like 2 seconds ago.
All right, well, I'll take it under advisement.
All right. Schindler's List at number 8. I don't know that
I don't think it's one of the greatest movies ever, but I did think it was good.
Vertigo, great movie.
I don't think it was that great.
No? Doesn't...
I have no memory. I don't care about it anymore.
Okay.
She was she was a double or something, and she jumped up the thing. Not one of the top 10 movies.
Okay. Wizard of Oz at number 10.
Yes.
Really?
Even though I've had mixed feelings about it over the years,
Yeah.
I do think it's the greatest. I saw it actually in Blowhardy's back. Blowhardy is back. I actually saw it in the cinema class in college, Josh. They showed it on the big screen, and I must say, Josh, the only real way to enjoy a movie of the caliber of Wizard of Oz is to see it in the theater. Indubitably.
I'm Blow Laurel. And you're...
Oliver Hardy?
Blowhardy.
Blowhardy. I didn't even get that. And I'm Blowhardy. Blowhardy is back. Laurel and Blowhardy.
And then 11 is City Lights, which is pretty damn good. But I don't know if it's even Chaplin's very best. I don't know.
I wouldn't say.
The Searchers at number 12.
I don't know that one.
That's John Ford Western.
Why didn't we go by this list?
We could. Star Wars at 13.
Yeah.
Psycho at 14.
Yes.
2001 at 15.
We love it.
Do you love it?
No. I'm fascinated with that movie.
I am too. I mean, it is.
I could watch it. I could watch it now again.
It is an amazing feat, and it was an amazing breakthrough, I think, in making space movies, in sort of realistic sci-fi. But it's boring. It's a boring movie.
What's the one? What's the one with the obelisk? Is that the one with the thing? And it's ding ding boom boom, jing jing jing, bang bang, boom boom, bang bang. Right?
It's a monolith. It's a monolith, not an obelisk.
Wah. And is that the movie where at the end they're you goddamn monkeys? The goddamn monkeys. Is that movie?
Yeah. Yes, Andy.
They blew it. What does he say? They blew it. We blew it. No, that's Easy
You
Rider.
did it. You really did it.
Damn you all to hell!
Why is he so angry then?
Because they blew it up. You blew it up!
With
God damn you all to hell!
Are you telling me the monkeys, they got in charge and then they blew up the Statue of Liberty?
He was yelling at mankind. You thought he was just mad about the statue? You damn monkeys, you ruined our statue, damn you all to... No, that wasn't the point.
But the whole point was, all of a sudden, it washes up, and he notices it's just the hand or something?
No, it's the head. It's more.
How did you know it wasn't just some stupid souvenir from a souvenir shop?
Do you really not get the end?
I don't understand. What happened?
He realizes he's on Earth.
You did it!
The whole movie, he thinks he was on a different planet until he sees this and goes, oh, fuck, mankind fucked it up.
Oh, so, well...
You did it, humans from the past, damn you all to hell, is what he's saying.
I don't buy the whole concept. I have a problem with the whole concept.
Number 16, Sunset Boulevard. Very good movie.
I don't know that one.
Really?
Oh, you said Sunset Boulevard. Oh, yeah. I thought you said 15-6. Oh, I thought you were saying 15-15.
I thought you said Olympic Boulevard. What?
No, you said 15-15.
No. I said number 16
So
is
you thought
I was giving
no,
a dress.
That movie I love.
Yes, it's great. 17, The Graduate, one of my very faves. 18, The General. A fun watch.
I haven't seen that.
Really?
Is that the with Buster Keaton?
Yeah, Buster Keaton, yes.
Oh, God.
19 is On the Waterfront.
Perfect.
20 is It's a Wonderful Life.
Wait a second. What happens when he...
You once said her to It's a Wonderful Life. Well, what are you but her?
Isn't there a scene where he realizes that many of the things that he thought were gone are still there?
Yes.
So what are some examples of that?
Susan's pedals. My mouth's bleeding, Bert. My mouth's bleeding.
Merry Christmas, you savings.
The sandwich I was eating, it's back. Half a soda.
That pharmacist who should never have been hired to begin with is still alive.
Look, Bert, it's my roach I was smoking.
And who's the guy who goes, hi-yaw, ha-ha,
Hee-haw. Sam Wainwright.
What a bunch of boring assholes they were. Hee-haw. That's what they thought was funny? How much longer is this fucking show? Are you going to go all 80 more movies?
Yeah, I think I will now. 21 is Chinatown.
Yeah, that's great.
22, Something Like It Hot. Not that great.
I never saw that.
I don't love it.
At the end of the movie, he goes,
There's
we
funny
all have
stuff.
our bad hobbies. We all have our picadillos. Because that's that Josh Faden bit about, which is hilarious about in those old movies, when someone's dressed up like a woman and it's a guy, there's still always one guy who loves it. He's like, yowza.
Right.
I didn't do a good bit. All right, stop looking at me.
All right, we can stop.
Stop at 25.
Okay. 23, Grapes of Wrath.
I never saw it.
It's good.
I'm not going to watch that.
Another John Ford.
I like him.
Henry Fonda is very dramatic in it.
Maybe I will watch that. I don't know.
24 is E.T.
That's okay. It's good.
25 is To Kill a Mockingbird.
All right.
25 is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Stop mocking me.
Stop mocking me.
Kill that stupid... Would you shoot that stupid mockingbird? In that movie, is there a bird who's going, yeah, you're racist. Nah. You're right.
Yeah, it's Boo Radley, see?
Do they have a Polly wants a cracker in that movie?
Well, classic comedy.
Let me tell you something. I think this was a great show that's going to be Blowhardy. Blowhardy. I will never be able to replace the hideousness of the feeling of being the expert. And it's like, you nailed me 1 second into it. You didn't even...
I really did. I went right for the jugular. That was a real test of friendship. That.
You know, it's very curious you both thought of, oh, Josh, many people don't realize that the baseball...
You are being the biggest piece of shit right now. I basically said.
You don't realize that baseball was actually a sport that was started in someone's den.
All right. Well, if you want to get in touch with us during the week, write us at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com or Twitter us on the
and
Twitter.
Break a leg in the past.
Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to getting through it. And check out our merch at zazzle.com/thought_spiral.
Yes, it's a very good chop.
And until next week, I'm Blow Laurel.
And I'm Blowhardy.
Good night.